What up, though, y'all? It's Chris, broadcasting to you from the D. Out here getting a few things done and getting my 10,000 steps in while I'm at it. I'm probably going to go around the store a time or two just to get some extra steps while I'm here. We got to talk about Emmanuel Acho. Last time I talked about the FS1 situation, there were a few people that were displeased with the fact that I only mentioned Joy Taylor and didn't mention Emmanuel Acho. I did mention him and Charlie Dixon, but I guess people felt like I was more focused on her than anybody else. Well, honestly, the reason why that is because she's the one everybody wants to hear about. And we got a little bit of noise coming by. She's got a noisy buggy. She didn't buggy check. But anyway, as I was saying, she's the one that everybody really cared about, because honestly, she's the one she's the most visible, she's the most vocal, she's the one out there on social media. You know, Emmanuel Acho, he would be, but not like Joy Taylor. And Charlie Dixon, nobody even knew who he was before he got exposed in the whole lawsuit thing. Before his name got thrown into that lawsuit, nobody knew who he was. So he was largely invisible. So it wasn't really no point in talking about him more than I did. But let's talk about Emmanuel Acho. So he made a post on social media, Twitter. He was talking about, basically, I'm a surmise. He was saying how he doesn't have something next. He don't know what next is. He doesn't have a plan forward. He'd like to say that he knows what's next, something exciting. I'm paraphrasing, mind you. He'd like to give one of those sort of messages like everybody does when they leave a job or get let go of a job, but he don't have anything. He don't know what's next. He don't know what the future holds. Well, I mean, Emmanuel Acho, I don't have anything against the guy personally, but if I can just critique him a little bit in terms of what he did on FS1, he really didn't stand out that much. I mean, in terms of character and personality, he didn't stand out all that much. He was very plain, if you will. He always would kind of like be politically correct. He would try really hard to say what he's gonna say without ruffling any feathers. If he's talking about a particular player, he really was kind of careful about going in on him, for the most part anyway. You know, he'd have moments where he'd lean in a bit more, but for the most part, it seemed like he wasn't trying to offend anybody. He's trying to be politically correct all the time, and that's just kind of boring. Controversy sells, especially when you're on a show as an opinionist. This is why everybody hates Stephen A. Smith, at least so they claim, yet look at how well he's doing. He's very opinionated. He's very entertaining. I mean, people could be like, they hate Stephen A. Smith all they want, but bottom line is the guy draws in views. So maybe it's one of them situations where you'll love to hate the guy, but he draws in views. He is a draw. It's the reason why he's a top honcho over there at ESPN. It wasn't always that way, but he morphed himself into being that. So Emmanuel Acho, you know, he needs a bit of work. He's kind of meh, kind of blah. He's not really that entertaining as an opinionist, or hasn't been really. Could that change? Yeah, absolutely. But he needs an opportunity first. Now, Marcellus Wiley, him and Jason Whitlock, they've had quite a few things to say about this whole thing over there. They really didn't say anything about what it was like working at FS1 until the lawsuit first came out. And then they kind of like did a show together where they were talking about it, and I ain't gonna hold you up, it was very entertaining. Whitlock was telling about how none of this surprises him, how Joy Taylor, basically she was nothing but, you know, a set of cans and peanut butter skin, and that went viral because it was very funny. The clip of him saying he know what he capable of, You know, and he'd be like, Jay, keep your distance. I ain't gonna hold you up. That was pretty damn funny. I never really was a fan of Whitlock. I don't know if I am now, really. But I will say, I did follow him after that because the dude showed me that he could be entertaining at least. Marcellus Wiley, he mentioned about how basically Acho would snake him. How in the beginning he'd be really cool because he was trying to get in, get his way in. And once he got his way in, he started to snake him. Now, he didn't learn about this stuff until after he was already let go. And that's crazy because you got a guy in your face. And dudes like this are very dangerous, man. You got a guy that's in your face every day, smiling, acting like y'all cool and stuff. Meanwhile, he going to the boss and he's saying negative stuff about you because he wants to be your replacement. You know, just wild. When he was in, and I'm talking about really in, when he had his permanent gig, when he was messing around with Joy Taylor, allegedly, you know, I'm sure he probably thought, how'd he get so lucky? All right, when he was up, he was really up. Pause. But for real, he probably was thinking, how did I get so damn lucky? Like, really, how did I get so lucky? I've got a cushy gig, and, you know, I'm getting to mess around with this chick here at work. You know, we both just kind of in here. We got the boss over us looking out. Now, I don't think that him and Dixon were hitting her around the same time. I think that was at different times because it appears that Charlie Dixon, even though dude was married, he was a bit possessive of her. But nonetheless, she was sliding his way, no pun intended, trying to do this and that with him for a promotion, just like she was doing with Dixon. And man, more insidiously, according to the lawsuit, she was planning on trying to Me Too him. This is Charlie Dixon. Once she got enough leverage in the company. That is crazy. This ain't about Joy Taylor, even though she's a component. This is about Emmanuel Acho and his behavior. It's hard to say be careful, man, because sometimes you really just don't know. But when you at work, remember, you ain't got no friends, man. That same guy that you think is cool, that's texting you, hey, what's up? I appreciate you doing this and that. Thank you for this and that. It'll be the same dude snaking you when he trying to replace you. And Marcus Wiley figured that out. Unfortunately, he found that out after the fact. Because if he would have seen the writing on the wall ahead of time, he probably could have did something to kind of help his position. But he ended up being blindsided because the other dude was trying to replace him. And the chick who the other dude was involved with was all complicit in everything. It's just really a mess. So there's been no admission of guilt or wrongdoing behind this lawsuit. But look at it, though. Everybody who was named is now gone. Skip Bayless is gone. Emmanuel Acho is gone. Joy Taylor is gone. Everyone who was named in that lawsuit to be on some slick stuff, they gone now. So even though this isn't exactly anybody admitting anything, something happened because they all gone now. So Emmanuel Acho, look, it's unfortunate that dude lost his livelihood, but he was playing a dirty game, man. Many say it's karma. Dude was playing a dirty game. And when you get exposed as being a snake, it's hard to feel sorry for you when you end up losing in the end. It just feels like just desserts. Like everybody else saying, karma. I'm going to leave it there, though, you guys. Hit me with a like if you like what I do. Hit me with a sub if you like what I do. And hit me in them comments. I'm going to holler at y'all. Peace.